guys, okay, so I have pressed all of the lovely fabric that I received from Fort Worth Fabric Studio. Thank you, Jody, for sending that to me. And now we are going to start cutting our fabric, and I will take out, which luckily it's right on top. This is our A fabric. So I'm going to put that there and scooch this over. Okay. And I've already pressed all the fabric, so I'm ready to go. And they did say that all strips are cut across the width of fabric from selvage to selvage edge unless otherwise noted. And that all of our seams are going to be 1/4 inch unless otherwise noted. Right sides together is RST. Okay. Thankfully, that's all pretty explanatory. That's pretty much when anyone writes patterns, those things are general instructions, just like it says here, general instructions. So usually these things are universal, but it's always very good to read that because you never know. Okay, so from our fabric A, we are going to cut a 6 1/4 inch strip. Okay, so I am going to make sure, and I have it here, that I've got my selvage to selvage. It looks like whenever I have it come together like that, it does look a little like it's got a twist in it. So I don't like that. Let's see. And everybody has their own technique. So if you have a technique that's working for you, that keeps your fabric nice and smooth, please keep doing whatever it is you're doing. If it's working for you, then it's working for you. Unless you want to try something different, there's no need for you to ever have to try what another quilter is doing, unless, like I said, if you really want to try something different to see if it's going to work better for you. I don't personally see any reason why you should have to do that. Okay. Feels pretty good to me. So I'm going to get, Jim just made me this new holder for my rulers. And now I got this new fandangled thing over here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to take this one. Oh, hello. Because I know it'll work. Oh, it just barely works. Okay, so 6 1/4. So for me, I want to use the solid inch increments. So if you look on the side of your ruler that has the 1/4 inch measurement, that's going to be the side that is going to have 1 inch increments. If you go from this side where there is a 1/2 inch increment, then those will go by half, then 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and so on. And you can see that it'll always be whatever the top number is. So when you're looking this way, so you'll have 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and then if you turn it this way, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Okay, so since it's 6 1/4, I'm going to go this way just because it's easier to see that quarter. Well, it usually is because there's a white line right there. But I'm going to go a little bit further because I have it. My end is not. My end is not straight right now, so. And I'm just going to do an in general cut, because once I have one cut, I can always, I'm just going to flip this around and do it, but then this end will be nice and pretty. All right, so I did go out a little bit, and I'm just going to make that cut. Carefully turn it. Then I'm going to get, it's the white line. So I'm going to put the white line, and unfortunately it's white fabric, but that's okay. I will be able to see it. You can't see it, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. So there's the 6 1/4. and 6 1/4, and the white line is just to the inside, so looks like we are good there. And then I want to make sure I got one long strip, which we did, so whew, got that good. Okay, just gonna scooch this over a little bit so we could do our subcut. And we are going to subcut that into 4 6 1/4 inch squares for week 1 and 3 5 1/4 inch squares for week 2. Okay, let's see here. I want to kind of make that a little bit better. I'm just going to open it up. I know this is the silly way to do it. Nobody has to tell me. I really realize that. But sometimes I just get really silly when it comes to cutting fabric. All right, since I'm having this white line as my 6 1/4, it's kind of making me nuts. So I will this time do this, and I'm going to, you see, and still the white line at 6 1/4. Oh my goodness. Everything's going to be fine, guys. Everything's going to be fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to label this fabric A. So I'm going to put A, and then I'm going to say this is week 1. And then I have A, week 2. Okay, so now where are my scissors that I can cut? Here we go. Paper is like so thick, it's not even funny. That's what I found first. So okay, and I am just going to take a couple pins, and week 1 was the bigger squares. You know what, I'm not going to put a pin through it. I'm going to put a wonder clip, so I don't want to put a pin through there. Okay. So that's some A fabric. Now, my next cut for A fabric says that I want 1 5 1/4 inch strip. Five and a quarter should be okay. So I'm going to put that down there. Add 5 1/4. I want my black line of the 5 1/4 to be just to the inside of the fabric. That will give me enough that the width of the blade will be fine. Okay, scooch that over a little. And then it says I'm going to subcut 7 5 1/4 inch squares for week 2 and 1 4 inch square for week 1. Okay, kind of going like backwards on that one this time. Let's see. I'm gonna do a quick press. Okay, so I'm going to have A. Well, I should just keep them together. Right. Okay, let's try to do that. So let's say I will move these over, and I need 7 5 1/4 squares. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and this is for week 2. So I'm going to put those here. Oh, look, they're all the same size. Okay. And then I have this one, which is 4 by 4 for week 1. Oops. Okay, scooch that for a moment. Okay, the next thing we need from fabric A is 2 5 1/2 inch strips. Okay, scooch this over. I'm not entirely convinced that this is all so neat and whatever, but it's working, so I'm just gonna go with it. We have like a little, I don't know. Anyway, 5 1/2, 2 5 1/2 inch strips. Okay, from these 2 5 1/2 inch strips, we are going to subcut 12 5 1/2 inch squares. So let's do that. Okay, so these are my 3 4 by 4 inch squares, and then I needed 12 5 1/2 inch squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. Dude, get in there, dude. Scooch. Scooch. Okay, good enough. So the 12 are for week 3, which I don't have one for week 3 yet, so I'm going to write A, week 3. Whatever y'all do, don't die and come back as a perfectionist, because it makes me crazy. But I can't help myself. Okay, and then these 3 4 inch squares are week 1. Oh good, they go with this one. Okay. Scooch them. And then we need 3 2.5-inch strips. Okay. Ooh, I need some coffee. Okay. Now from these 2.5-inch strips, we are going to subcut 40 2.5-inch squares. Okay. Do 40. Seven, 38, 39, and 40. And these are for week 2. Okay. Now, this is week 2. There's no way I'm going to fit that in a Wonder Clip, so I wouldn't even be able to fit another Wonder Clip on it. So normally what I'll try to do is I just like stick them together like this, you know, and I just keep them together. And I've got a certain space that I keep them so they're not going to get moved around or anything. Okay. Got a little extra. And then we need 4 1.5-inch strips. Okay. And they want us to save these 4 strips for week 4. Okay, I don't have a week 4 yet, so let's do a week 4. All right, and let's see, I will be able to put it through a little bit of it, just not all the way. And then I'll just hold it together. Okay, so that's it for our A fabric. Okay, so let's get on with our fabric B. And our fabric B is little snippets, floral red, and, oh, floral red. I think there's only one floral. Okay, so that's this fabric. And we have this piece plus a width of fabric piece. Okay, it says from width of fabric, save all 10 B square. Sorry, I'm oh, okay, I see what it's saying. From the width of fabric piece, we are going to cut 9 4.5-inch squares. Okay, let me give this a real quick repress. Okay. 9, was it 9? 9 4.5-inch squares. Okay. I don't want to use this. Okay, this is fabric B. I have cut a total of 10 4.5-inch squares, and these are for week 2. So this is B, week 2. Okay. Oops. Okay. Now we're going to move on to fabric C, and fabric C is Essentially Yours lipstick check, which is a 27-inch width of fabric. All right, I just did a little piece of it. Okay, we want one 5.5-inch strip. Let me move this ruler. And let me see, I am going to redo this. Try to make it a little better if I can. Try to do a better job of it this time. Okay. Y'all know I'm so messy. I am like the quintessential, am I even saying that right? Like, quilter who just like quilts around everything. That's what I do. Okay, let's see. I also don't clean up between projects, as you can tell. Let's see. Okay, yes, that feels nice. Of course, I thought it felt nice the last time, but I love doing that. Okay. I love petting the fabric. Trying to like make sure I can. All right, let me stop playing with the fabric. All right. One 5.5-inch strip. Now I'm going to subcut this into 4 5.5-inch squares and 4 4.5-inch squares. Okay. Okay. The 4 5.5-inch squares are for week 3. So that will be C, week 3, and C, week 2 for the smaller ones. I feel like my handwriting is terrible right now. I'm not even concentrating on what I'm writing. Okay, week 3 was the bigger ones. Yep. And then week 2 for the smaller ones. Okay. And then we need one 4.5-inch strip. And then we want to subcut this into 6 4.5-inch squares. Okay, so these are 6 4.5-inch squares for week 2. Let's just more of those. Okay, and then 6 2.5 inch strips for the binding. Now I cut my binding at 2 1/4, but you can do 2 1/2 and you'll be fine. She gives you plenty of fabric. And how many? She say 6. Okay. So I'm gonna do 2 1/4. I just like a smaller binding. But 2 1/2 is what she gives you enough fabric for. So if you like the 2 1/2, do the 2 1/2, which is pretty standard. Uh-oh, Pascario. What'd I do? What'd I do? Maybe I should change my blade. This is crazy. Holy cow. Okay. I'm going to change my blade real quick. I think it probably needs it. Just throw that in just a minute. I'm going to throw this one out. Okay, I'm just going to write binding. Okay, so we have so far cut fabrics A through C, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and we will finish the rest of the fabric. Okay guys, so here we are back with fabric D, and our fabric D is the Good Life Floral Dot Red. Are you gonna go up there with Jellybean? See if Jellybean will let you go up there. Smudgy? You can't lay over there. You mean you can, but that's not comfy, baby. That's not comfy. Daddy wasn't thinking of your comfort. He truly was not. What's going on, bud? All right. Okay, so I have it back, and we are needing to cut 5 1/4 inch squares for week 2. What is this? This is a turnaround ruler. It's a 9.5 inch ruler. Okay, smudgy. All right, we're gonna have to tell Daddy to find you some place to sleep, huh? Yeah. See, I don't know why, it's just Jellybean getting a spot to sleep. Okay. Sorry, it's been in storage, guys. Okay, so 5.5 inches square. And I need 5 of them, right, out of this. Yep. Okay, so this is fabric D, week 2. So I'm going to write D, week 2. And I have no idea. Oh, he's hidden them over here. Smudgy, gonna switch you, buddy. Oh, my helper left. Okay. Now our next fabric is fabric E, which is the Bonnie and Camille Basics Red Orange Peel. Okay, one thing that I just realized is I cut my fabric D at 5.5, so I need to cut these down. Because I totally did 5.5 square. So let me fix that real quick while I'm thinking of it. And basically I just need to put this up at 5.25 and then trim off the extra. And same on the other side. Okay, apologies for that. They are now at 5.25. And now I'm going to take this fabric and I'm going to do the same thing, 5.25 inch squares. Okay, so this is fabric E for week 2. Okay, next fabric is fabric F, and that is dotty medium dots, white/red. All right, that one is giving me a 6.5 inch square and 7 inches. Okay, so I have this ready, and I just want to point out that there is the white fabric with the red dots, and there is the red fabric with the white dots. And the reason why I know this one is the white with the red dots is because, I mean, it says right on there white/red, but just to be on the safe side, I also looked at the dots Christmas red, and that one says that you are getting 13 inches by the width of fabric and a 6 by 10 piece, and that is the red with white dot pile that I have right over there. So I know that this is the one that is for letter F. Okay, I just wanted to point out that I made sure this time. I know I cut something wrong last time, and I'm very cognizant of that. Okay, so from the width of fabric piece, we are going to cut 7 5.5 inch squares. And then from the 6.5 inch square, we're going to cut one 5.5 inch square. So basically at the end of this, we are going to have 8 5.5 inch squares. Okay. Okay, so this is my fabric F. And it is for week 3, is that right? Yeah, week 3. Okay, so our next fabric is fabric G, which is the Grunge Basics metallic formula. Okay, so I have these pressed, and I am going to now cut 8 5.5 inch squares, just as I did with fabric F. Okay, so this is my G fabric, and it's for week 3. Hi, Smudge. Okay. Okay, our next fabric is fabric H, and it is the Dotty Medium Dots Christmas Red. Okay, so we have our H fabric. From the width of fabric piece, we are going to cut 1 6¼ inch strip. Okay, this one, okay, good. Hi, Jellybean. Okay, 6¼ inch. Okay, from this piece, I'm going to subcut 4 6¼ inch squares. Okay, and we are also cutting 4 4-inch by 3 3/4 inch rectangles. Okay, now it says from width of fabric piece, which is this piece that we have left, cut 1 4-inch strip. Okay. And then from this 4-inch strip, we are going to subcut 10 4-inch by 3 3/4 inch rectangles. All right, so we need 10 more of those. Okay, and then from the 6-inch by 10-inch piece, we are going to cut 2 more of the 4-inch by 3 3/4 inch rectangles. Okay. Okay, so I have all of my pieces of red with the white dot, and all of these are fabric H, and they are all for week 1. Okay. H, week 1. Got a little lip on there. Okay, so I am going to go feed the kitty cats, and I will be right back for us to cut fabric I. We're almost done. Okay, so the last thing to cut is our fabric I, which is Grunge Hits the Spot in Red. Okay, so I have pressed this real quick, and now I just need to cut 5 2.5 inch width of fabric strips. Okay, so let me just make sure I've got this laid out nice. Okay. I need to use this one, so I need 5 2.5 inch. Okay. Okay, so this is my fabric I. And it is for week 4. Okay, so we have cut all our fabric. Let me bring it back. Let's see if I can kind of put it on top of each other, then we'll go through it. I think that's the easiest way. Okay. This is all our fabric for, this is all our A fabric, and I'm going to separate it into weeks so that we can get going. This is week 4. So I'm going to put that there. Week 1, week 2, and 3. Let me move this. Okay, so our B fabric is for week 2, so I'll just put that there. Our C, we have week 2 and week 3. The D fabric is for week 2. The E fabric is for week 2. The F is for week 3. The G is for week 3. The H is for week 1, and I is week 4. Can I maybe I'll put that out like that. Okay. So there we go. We'll have week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have our binding, which is already cut as well. So we will start sewing soon. Everybody get ready.